Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Arion here, back with another video. And today is a sad video because we are talking about my senior year that was cut short because of Auntie Rona. So for those of you guys who do not know, I was a part of the graduating coronavirus quarantine class of 2020. 2020 was supposed to be like literally the most exciting year of my life, and it turned out being one of the most confusing and frustrating years of my life. But we're going to talk about that in this video. So if you're interested in hearing more about my senior year, the highs, the lows, packing up my bags in a week, keep watching this video. By the way, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button down below so you can join the family. So summer 2019 was honestly one of the best summer experiences that I've had for so many reasons. So let's start off, I guess, with the biggest reason. I had an internship again in Chicago, and I think this year, like social wise in the internship, was definitely way better because I had a really great friend group. Shout out to all my friends, and we literally had so much fun throughout the entire summer, and that was just awesome. My boyfriend came to visit again. We celebrated 2 years last summer, and anytime Justin comes into town, I always feel like a princess, so that was always a lot of fun. And then we had a girls trip, me and like my college girlfriends. We had a girls trip in Chicago, and we really just explored the city, and we literally did like so much in like the 5 days that they were there. But I will have to say the most like life-changing part of that summer was definitely going to see Hamilton. Guys, if you didn't know me, I am a Ham fan. Alexander Hamilton is my middle name. I absolutely loved the soundtrack, so when the opportunity came to go see the musical the day after my birthday, I had to take it. Anyway, so let's skip ahead to the actual school year. So left Chicago, went back down to my HBCU, and started the school year. So one thing that was really different was that I was one of the leading orientation leaders, like the head orientation leaders, and that really threw my navigator experience way off. Like, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed that experience, but it was so different. So I'm used to always having a group, having a partner, being responsible for like 20 freshmen. It was just so interesting. It was really cool to kind of see like the logistics and the back end of orientation, but part of me was like, oh, I wish I had like my final group of like, I don't want to call them kids, but kids, just to get to know for my senior year, because I feel like I felt really disconnected from the freshman class. But yeah, my navigator experience was really different, but it was also really great. I was really emotional at the end of our navigator experience because it hit me like, yo, this is the year of lasts. This is my last orientation, my last time being a navigator, my last time doing this. So that was really emotional for me. I mentioned this in my last video, but one of the great parts of being a navigator is that you get to move into your campus housing early. So this year I stayed in the annex, which is like the university's like campus housing, like it's actual houses. I stayed in one last semester. Go check out my junior year video if you want to hear more about that. But I moved into this new house with 2 of my friends, shout out to them, and it was really nice. So I will say my room was definitely way smaller than my other one. It was like half the size, but it was just really nice being in an environment with like friends. I had 2 closets, so that was really helpful, and I decorated my room, you know, pretty nice. Didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do because senior year was busy, but I think I did a pretty good job. All right, so I knew that senior year was going to be a great year because when it was my last year, I was involved in some pretty awesome things, and I just felt like everyone in my class was going to have this great energy like all year long, and that was for real. It was true. But one thing that really turned my senior year upside down, and not in a bad way, was me getting involved in some new things. So y'all, I tried out for the cheerleading team my senior year, and I wasn't going to do it. I literally decided the Friday night before, when we did the tryouts, I had a good feeling that I was going to make it to the team. I'm not the most flexible person, but I think I pick up on choreography fast. I think I add a little like flavor to things, and I think I'm a pretty good dancer. And a lot of our cheer, it's more like, it's a lot of dancey, but not a lot. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not like Navarro team cheer, but it's also not like a lot of like. So one of the hardest parts about being on the cheer team was actually the practices. So we practiced 4 times a week, Sunday nights, Tuesday mornings at 5:30 a.m., Wednesday nights, and then Friday afternoons. But guys, those practices, I think it was what, like 8 hours a week or something like that? It was a lot. Like I I hadn't participated in anything in college that had that much time commitments every single week. But I think at the end of the year, or the end of the cheer season, it really paid off. Just developing new friendships with people that I probably wouldn't have been friends with before. Just having consistent exercise, and also just having better time management, I would say. So the next extracurricular that I joined or whatever is I was our student government's special events coordinator, and that was really exciting. So basically I would be responsible for throwing like a Labor Day party or kind of like spring banquet, and I did a fashion show. So I'll talk about the Labor Day right quick. We did like a family barbecue. The turnout was way better than I thought, but the event didn't go like how I had originally hoped, and I think that was my fault in not thinking about enough logistics, but people said it was a really good event, so that was exciting. The fashion show is probably what I am the most proud of. We haven't had a fashion show on campus except for the African fashion show for probably like 2 years, and I really wanted to help bring fashion show culture back. So I planned like this like throwback 90s fashion show, and I had a lot of great helpers, and guys, that fashion show was tough. I don't even want to talk about like everything that I had to go through for the fashion show, but it turned out being amazing. Again, we had an amazing turnout, which I was not expecting because it was All-Star weekend, so I was like, a lot of people are going to be at their apartments watching the All-Star game, guys. But so many people came out, and I'm just so thankful for that opportunity. So shout out to everyone that helped me with that. Now we're getting into one of the disappointments. So the spring banquet was probably my biggest event. It's the biggest budget. It uses like 90% of my budget. It has the biggest attendance. A lot of students come, but unfortunately it was canceled due to COVID-19. Literally the Sunday that everyone left was 7 days before the banquet was supposed to happen, guys. I had a celebrity guest that was coming. We had dancers, we had music, guys. It was literally going to be amazing. And I think part of the reason why I was so hurt about it was because, one, I spent a lot of time, and then two, I'm sad that students weren't able to experience my vision. I think it was really gonna be awesome, but the world will never know. So I also had 2 internships. So the first one was I interned, me and my boyfriend actually interned at the same place for a local sports team. That was really, really interesting. I was kind of interested in sports for a little bit. Then the second internship that I had was actually at a news station, and this really hurts because I literally was able to do maybe a fourth of my internship before the year ended. While I was there, I really enjoyed myself. It was awesome shadowing the reporters and just learning more about like the newsroom and what it takes to be a reporter. Okay, now y'all know every single video I always talk about the events. Guys, I go to a lot of good events, whether it's on campus or off campus. So one of the best events, and shout out to my friend Austin, was Oakchella. So basically it was like Coachella, but on Oakwood's campus. Austin had a Ferris wheel, we had fireworks, we had live musical performances, people dressed kind of like we were in the valley in California, and it was just so fun just kind of being able to like turn up with my fellow classmates, my fellow like Oakwoodites. From the clips, you guys can probably tell that it was lit. The second one is the lip syncing night. So me and my friend Sion, we're High School Musical buffs, and it was so much fun. Then we also had the African fashion show, which was really, really awesome and well put together. The final blackout game, my last time as a cheerleader, that was crazy. We did a really long halftime performance. The dean had to like cut it short, but people were not stopping. Y'all, the blackout game is always so fun year after year. And Oakwood has not lost against Fisk, at least for the 4 years that I was there. So that's a little bragging point. All right, now let's talk about the trips that I went on my senior year. So I went on a lot of trips, actually. I went to Birmingham with my friend Ashley and my friend Maya to go to the Magic City Classic, which is like the HBCU. And so Future was actually the musical performer of the night. So he did a concert afterwards. And through my magazine internship, we were supposed to interview him, but Future didn't want to do an interview with us, so we couldn't interview him, but we still got to meet him. So then I went to Atlanta twice. I went once for a conference with my boy Avery, and then I went another time with my friends to celebrate my friend Maya's 22nd birthday. Oh my God. We are so old. And of course, y'all know I went to a Chris Brown concert. I pretty much go to a Chris Brown concert every year. But I actually did a vlog about it, so if you want to check that out, click up here to watch it. Then one of the most, I think, like surprising trips that I had was going to New York City in December, guys. I missed like 3 days of classes to go to this conference for this foundation, the IRTS Foundation. Basically, they had like workshops and job fair. And that was just a really, really great experience. And it was just cool exploring the city. We were there for the tree lighting ceremony in New York City. So that was awesome. I got to see my boy Neo perform. I literally love Neo, if you guys didn't know that. So that was just a really, really great experience. And just being in New York, because I hadn't been to New York in like 3 or 4 years. And I was there like by myself. So that was like an adulting moment. Probably the biggest trip that I had was my spring break trip to the Bahamas. We went on a cruise, basically. I have a couple vlogs about that, so click up here or in the description box if you want to watch it. But that was honestly crazy. So crazy. And that was when COVID-19 was popping up in the US. We were so like nervous, but we made it out COVID-19 free. So now we're gonna move on and we're gonna talk about my relationship, classes, and different things like that. So my relationship, I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years now, and senior year was definitely a pivotal time for us because we didn't know what the next step would be. Like, I didn't know where I would be. I didn't know if I'd be in Arkansas, California, Michigan. He didn't know where he would be. So that was kind of like, not stressful, but definitely something that I thought about. Just trying to think about the future and for both of us to do what's best. But I definitely think it all worked out in the end. He actually lives really, really close. You guys will see actually like a little bit of that in my next vlog, but we're not gonna talk about that in that video. But everything ended up working out, and I think we had a lot of fun senior year, so definitely really thankful for that. Now let's talk about my classes senior year. Guys, I think I took 21 credits my first semester and then 24 credits my last semester, guys. Your girl had to graduate, okay? So I'm gonna read the classes that I took. It's right here on my laptop, so I'm not just saying off the top of my head. I had business policy and strategy, production management, fiction and dramatic screenwriting, multimedia applications, marketing research, retail merchandise and design, and then weight training. So out of all those classes, I have to say my favorite class out of all those, like low key, was, okay, actually, I liked all of those classes except for marketing research, if I'm being honest with you. But the class that really like sticks out to me is weight training because I love the exercise. Like, if y'all know me, I know I don't like exercising all the time, but I appreciate exercising, and I definitely felt myself getting stronger as the year progressed. So that was a really awesome class. So shout out to Coach for that class because he was a good teacher. He was relaxed, but he also like motivated us to push ourselves, so that was cool. So second semester, which is actually when I got my 4.0, I took 24 credits. I took a class at LSU. I took digital marketing. Then my other classes were at Oakwood. I took practices and principles of PR. I had my internship class for my communication internship, broadcast advertising, senior seminar, like a fiction and dramatic TV production class, global marketing, and supply chain management. Spring semester was tough because the senioritis started kicking in. I think all of my classes were actually interesting. They definitely, I think, will help me in this next phase of my life as I prepare to like go into my job, which will be my next video. Stay tuned for that. But it was just a lot. 24 credits, guys, is a lot. So yeah, I pretty much gave you a good idea of what my senior year was like, but now we're gonna talk about what happened after like March 10th or March 16th, whatever that was. So I was driving back on campus. I think I got a snack, and Alabama got like its first 3 COVID-19 cases, and no one was really sure what was going on. Harvard already went online. Like probably like 20 other schools had already gone online, like major schools. And so I kind of knew Oakwood was going to go online, but we weren't really sure when. The USM sponsor that was working on me with the banquet, he basically called and said, hey, just letting you know the banquet it will be canceled because school is getting out. And then like, I think like 3 hours later, they sent out the email basically saying, no classes next week. We're giving you guys a week to move out and go home. And that was a crazy day. It was a Friday. It was like, even looking back, I don't even know like how I felt. I mean, I'm sure I was shocked, but I feel like it was so much disbelief. Like, I feel like my social life really started to like pick up around like February and March, probably because we were around the near end of our senior year. But it was like really out of all times out of all the years you want this to happen during my senior year. I know I'm being selfish, but I mean, aren't we all? That last week of just being with my friends I was actually there for a week and a half. I stayed a little bit longer, but it was really emotional, just saying goodbye, trying to like capture all of the memories. Like, I went to a couple brunches and just hung out with people, did some game nights, just sat down and had lunch with people. It was a really sad week, especially because like we're seniors, so we're not coming back the next year. If I was a junior, I don't think I would be as emotional because I would just assume school's gonna be back to normal by the fall. But just the fact that literally this was like March was canceled and we were in May. This was graduation week without the ceremony. I literally squeezed in so many hangout sessions with literally all of my friend groups, whether we were just sitting in the car talking or whether it was like one of the events I mentioned like later, like the brunches or game nights. I had to do it. I didn't necessarily care about packing because at the end of the day, I care more about my friends than like checking out of my house on time. But yeah, just thinking about all that just makes me really sad. Because I still miss everyone, even though I've kind of like come to terms. I mean, obviously I've come to terms with what's happened. That was like 6 months ago. But I just wish it didn't have to be that way. I wish I could have lived out the fullness of my senior year. I wish I could have like had like that real like last week of being with my friends, that real last week of being at my school and just taking in everything that there is to offer. Obviously didn't have that opportunity. So I'm really thankful for the time that I had during my 4 years in college. It was definitely a roller coaster, guys. I think it was like 189 credits or 169 credits, which is so many classes. But honestly, I wouldn't change my experience for anything in the world. I know sometimes I think, I wonder what would happen if I would have chose University of Michigan or Spelman. But honestly, I am so thankful for my Oakwood experience. Some things weren't perfect. I really wish I would have put myself out there a little bit more socially and just really took advantage of certain situations. But overall, I'm really thankful for how everything went. I'm thankful for all the people that I met. I'm thankful for my teachers, even the ones that wasn't cutting it, because all of them have impacted my life either in a positive way, negative way, or just like a neutral way, like a neutral impact. I don't think that's real, but it's gonna be real for this YouTube video. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I don't know if there's a lot of videos out there of people from the class of 2020 talking about what they experienced, but just know it was rough. It was really, really rough. And then everybody basically being uprooted, coming back home and being expected to maintain the same level of academic rigor, even though people are in so many different types of home situations and different things like that. And even for me, like, you know, I love my family, but it's so weird being back home in my childhood room trying to pay attention to my PR class. You know what I mean? That's really difficult. So, oh, and on top of that, there's other stressors going on in different lives. And also, I'm worried if I'm gonna get COVID-19. You know what I mean? All right, guys, but before I end this video, I have to talk about definitely one of the peaks of the year when it comes to my senior year experience, and it would have to be actually graduating from college. So my school postponed, I almost said canceled, but postponed our graduation. First, nobody knew when the date was going to be, but eventually they put a date for August 1st. And so I would say a third of the class was there, or maybe a little under half was there. We met up in Alabama, we had our graduation ceremony, and your girl got her diploma. That was definitely really emotional. Just seeing my friends who have overcome so many different obstacles throughout college walk across that stage. It was amazing. So again, I'm so proud of you guys. The graduation experience was definitely really interesting. Everyone had masks on. We were socially distanced, and yeah, I mean, it was a good time. I had fun, and it was kind of nice to get that closure at the end of the year. Okay, guys, so at the end of all of my recaps, I tell you about the best part and the worst part of my college experience. Let's start off with the worst part. The worst part of the year was definitely having my senior year cut short. No need to go into detail. I already talked about that. Now, the best part of senior year was definitely, one, I think the social experience. I had so much fun socially. I don't think there was a moment I felt lonely. The second best part about senior year was all the memories that I created. I have so many different pictures, videos that I can like look back at to like reminisce. Senior year was great, guys. Like, I would honestly give it a 9 out of 10. I think maybe it beat freshman year. So I think this year was number 1 out of 4. Shout out to the graduating class of 2020. Whether you are in college, whether you're in your PhD program, master's program, or even if you're in high school or 8th grade, guys, we have endured so much. So shout out to all the work that you put in to graduate. It is not unnoticed. Y'all, we did it. We did it. So congrats to us. My college experience is officially over. Your girl got her 2 diplomas. I don't have a diploma cover for my other one, but my 2 diplomas, and I'm moving on to a new phase of my life. So comment down below, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about my senior year. Just anything. Like, I just want to know what you guys think. Like, was my senior year lame compared to yours, or was there something really exciting that you guys enjoyed? Let me know down below. But again, if you guys haven't already liked this video, give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button down below so you can join the family, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Bye, guys.